Today's video I'm going to be making use of folding chairs for this project, and a lot of you have requested that I should make a DIY using folding chairs. Now there are a lot of folding chairs out there, but I picked this one in particular because of the way it's slanted. I'm going to be using two for this project to make a bench. There are lots of benches out there that are really pretty, but one particular one caught my eye. This one. It has a unique shape and I love the way it looks. Pulling it off with folding chairs is gonna be really tricky, but I'm gonna try my best. I'll be using this thick wooden board that has been cut to size and attaching it to the chairs. And I'll be using screws to attach the board to the chairs. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. The next thing I'll do is measure up how much foam I'll be needing. I placed one long one at the top, and then I'm going to cut one into two, and I'll be attaching the halves starting from the bottom of both chairs and taking it up to the top. I'm attaching the foam to the wood that I already have on the chair. I need this part here to be rolled. In order for me to have something strong there, I thought about pool noodle. So I'm going to cut pool noodle to size and attach it there. I used tape to hold the pool noodle to the foam and to the back of the chair. That is because my staple gun cannot work on this chair. In order for me to have the second foam coming over, I would need to attach it to something. So I'm going to use a canvas panel, just a small piece, and attach it to the front. That'll make it easy for me to attach the second layer of foam coming from the back to be attached to the front. This is what the front now looks like. So to make my work easy for me, at the back, I covered it with tape because in the front, I'm going to be filling it up with shredded foam. I did that because I didn't want the foam falling off from the back. You can also buy a pillow and use the stuffings inside. I'm going to be adding more foam here at the bottom. I'll be using more canvas panel to close the sides and front. On the covering that I'll be making on both sides, I'm also going to be having this design on top of them. I'll be using the board that I have here and the one at the bottom to attach this other board here. The curved designs that I cut earlier are going to be put on top of this board. This is another board that I drew out a pattern that's going to be at the bottom. I'm going to cut out the pattern and attach it to the wooden board that's here. Now I'm going to be making points at the top for tufting. I'm also going to be making holes on those points with a pair of scissors. I'm going to have batting over it, and then I'll be using this luxurious fabric that I got from JOANN fabric for my project. All I'm doing is locating where the points are and using a heavy-duty staple gun and stapling it down. I'm going to staple the sides of the arms as well. I'll be stapling the foam that's going to come at the bottom together with the fabric and making sure that I follow the pattern that I have on the board. I'm going to be moving on to the arms. This is going to be attached to the board that I already have to make it easy for me to know exactly where to staple and to also get my pattern. At the bottom here, I don't have any board there, so what I'm going to do is use zip ties and attach them to the pipes. Now that that is done, I'm going to be stapling the fabric down to the design. I'll be using this flexible trim around the edges. Now it doesn't bend as much this way, so what I'm going to do is make little cuts at the bottom to make it easy for me to make a curve. I'm going to be spray painting the legs silver and also spray painting the flexible trim silver as well and attaching it to the board that has the design at the bottom with screws. I'm going to need much smaller curves here, so I'm going to be using this fabric trim that I got from JOANN fabric for that. I'll be using gems to cover up the screw heads. I'll be removing the staple pins that are showing. This part here at the bottom, I don't really like the way it looks, so I'm going to be using this wooden onlays and spray painting them silver and attaching them there using screws. Here's what the bench now looks like. And I used 2 folding chairs to make this awesome looking French style bench. I just love the curves by the sides. And I love the fact that it looks different from all the other regular benches that you see in the stores. So next time you see 2 old folding chairs together and you're thinking about throwing it away, well, think again, because you can have an awesome bench with them. This is super cute. It can be used in the living room or in the bedroom. I really do hope you all enjoyed this video. Now don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and families as well. I'm going to be working on this old wing back chair that I've had in my home for a while now. I did get it from a thrift store and it fit the decor in my previous home. So right now it's just out of place. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my time and analyze the back of the chair to see if I can make tufts with it, because you know me, I love my tufts. So this seems kind of hard at first though, so I tried it out with a staple gun to see how deep it is and if the back is solid enough to hold tufts, and it's not. So I tried to see if I can use screws to get to the back of the chair. To my surprise, it just kept going in and nothing was holding it at the back. So when I realized that nothing was there, I had to cut out all of the fabric This is the fabric that I had cut out, and I covered the whole thing with batting. Now at the back of the chair, I used a canvas panel, and this comes in a set of 3, and I got this from Walmart. I used just one, and I attached it at the back of the chair from the inside. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. Now that that has been taken care of, the next thing I'm going to do is make points for my tufting with 6 inches apart. At these points, I'm going to be making holes with them using this box cutter. Now I'm using a box cutter because the foam that comes with the chair is 3 inches thick. The opening is not wide enough, and because I'm dealing with a 3 inches foam, I would need the hole to be really wide to make sure that the tufts come out more visible. This is the fabric that I'll be using, and I got this from JOANN craft store. For the tufts, I'll be using screws and washers, and it's super easy. You just put the screw inside the washer. Now the washer prevents the screw from sinking into the fabric. All I'm doing is locating where the hole is and driving in the screw into the canvas panel. The foam is 3 inches thick, so using a long screwdriver helped a lot. When I was done, I trimmed off the excess fabric. After that, I turned to the back and stapled the fabric down. For the sides, this is the fabric that I'll be using, and I'm using this fabric because it kind of goes with the color that's on the chair, this one. So I cut little pieces and glued them to the sides of the chair. I made this a lot easier for myself by just following the same pattern that was on the chair before. As I was stapling and I got to the curved part here, I had to trim the fabric like this to make it easy for me to have a smooth curve. And for this front part, I just cut a little piece of fabric and I'm going to be gluing it right there. Like I said earlier, I am going to make this easy for myself by just following the pattern that was on the chair already. Now I'm going to have another fabric over this one and then staple it by following the pattern that was already on the chair. Back to the front, I'm going to fold the fabric before stapling it to give it a neat look. And for this corner here, I just used a hot glue gun and glued the fabric down. And then stapled it right here. At the lower part of the front, I folded and glued little fabric at the edge to make it neat and easy to attach to the chair. I trimmed the corner with scissors to make it flat before gluing it down. I want gold on this design, so I picked up this gold trim from Walmart, and I'm going to be attaching it using little tack nails all around the sides where I have the staple pins. Because I had a change of heart about the color much later, I prepped the lower part of the chair and spray painted it gold. Now I'm going to continue with putting the thumbtacks on the trim all around and the front to cover the staple pins. This is the back, so at the bottom, I ran out of fabric because it wasn't long enough, so I added another fabric and overlapped it, and I did my best to attach it neatly. This is what the side looks like. Now I just had to introduce gold to the fabric since I was using gold thumbtacks to make the overall design flow together. And I use these shiny gold buttons to cover up the screws. I covered up the sitting with blue fabric to see what it was going to look like. After seeing what the blue looks like, I then later made another cover for the seating with the other fabric. I did this because I love variety, so I gave myself 2 different options. I'm really happy with this, and I used an old chair that I already had at home. I have another DIY transformation that I used with an old chair and turned it into this, and the link for this video is going to be in the description box below. Now this one that I made reminded me of another lovely DIY I made some months ago. And this was made from an old ottoman bench that I got from the thrift store. The link for this video is going to be in the description box below as well. It is such a relief that I finally changed the look of this chair because the color has been so out of place in my home. Everything about this chair is just the way I wanted it to be. From the color of the fabric to the gold details, I just love how everything goes together. I picked a blue color because I would love to add that to the white and gold I plan to use in my living room. I hope you guys like this idea on how to customize your old existing chair in the house into something that you love.
light that surrounds me. If we hold ourselves together, we'll go far.
Hey guys, Universe Essentials here. Today's video I'm going to be transforming this plastic chair into a throne chair. Now I'm going to start up by taking measurements of the back and cutting out the shape that I want from a cardboard. I'll be using these decorative onlays at the top, so I'm going to be laying them down on the cardboard and tracing out the shape. I'm going to carve this out and then attach it to the back of the chair. But before I do that, I'm going to add plastic to make it easy for me to do my tufting on it. I'm going to use cardboard around the plastic chair to give it a whole new different look. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. Throne chairs can be quite pricey, but the whole idea here is to make sure that I use a plastic chair that already has the body frame that I need, and all I'm doing is just changing the shape with cardboard. I am so excited about this because I already have the body of the chair, so it makes my work a lot easier. I cut the top of the foam to take the same shape as the cardboard. Now I'm going to go ahead and make points for my tufting, and I'll be using a staple gun for my tufts. And I'm making the tufting on the plastic that I had put behind the cardboard because the plastic chair that I'm working on had holes in it. That's why I put plastic behind the cardboard. The fabric by the side is being stapled on the chair. The arms are too thin, so I'm going to add another foam, another 1-inch foam. And because I don't want that part where it adds up to show, I'm going to use tape to smoothen it all out to make it look flat. You can see the black tape through the fabric, so I had to add more fabric there to eliminate the black patch. I'll be covering this up and stapling it down on the plastic chair. I'm going to be stapling down the fabric that's at the back on the chair as well. I added foam at the back and a much thicker foam in the front to make it look fuller. And then I covered that part with fabric. The chair started looking really small and so short for a throne chair, so I had to increase the height at the back. This kind of gave it a very funny shape at the back, but then I didn't really mind because I won't be looking at the back that much. If you look closely, you can see the difference between the bottom tufting and the ones at the top. That was one of the things that made me so upset. And then another thing too was the fabric. I had to add some pieces by the side because I ran out of fabric. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad in the end. Now these are flexible trims that I got online. I spray printed them gold and they're going to be attached to the sides. These are going to be attached with screws. Up here will be for the decorative onlays, and these will be attached with screws as well. I covered the front part here with fabric and spray painted the legs gold. I got this from Family Dollar and it's from a picture frame set. It's plastic and it's perfect for my project. I took it out and I spray painted it gold, and now I'm gonna be cutting just what I need that's gonna fit the chair. This part of the plastic chair made it so hard for me to put something flat there. So I'm gonna cut the design that I want to put there into two. I'm gonna attach the foam for sitting before I continue. I'll use this gold trim around the edges of the chair, and then I added a little piece from what I just cut down here at the bottom. I'm going to be adding more decorative onlays to my design because most interesting looking throne chairs have a lot of decorative finishings at the top and at the bottom. And the complete list of all the things that I used for this project is going to be down in the description box below. This is another flexible trim that I got online that I spray painted gold. And I'm going to use this inside the design that I already have that's on the chair. This will also cover the open spaces caused by the irregularities of the design that's on the plastic chair. I'll be covering this opening with this leftover chain, and then staple pins will be covered with crystal buttons. Now this is what my chair now looks like. I wanted to make sure that every time I look at this chair, I will not remember that it was made out of plastic. But you know what? The bottom gives it away. I couldn't cover the bottom, but then it still looks pretty and I love it. Who would have thought that a boring looking plastic chair can look this good? have another throne chair that I made without arms, and I put it besides what I just made. Now the link for this one is going to be down in the description box below. I really love this DIY idea, and I hope you do too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and This is a bench that I picked up from the thrift store, and I picked it up because it looked like someone threw it away after buying it. Not sure, but I picked this up because it looked really ugly. So I challenged myself to see how I can change the look of this bench into something much more pleasing to the eyes. The first thing I did was to get rid of the ugly rag that was on top. I cleaned the bench and then used a wood at the back to measure how high I would like the back to be and the pattern that's also going to be there. So I took a charger plate to make designs with it. I cut out the shape with my saw, and this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to be attaching it to the chair. After that was done, I attached 2 inches foam to it. I left a little bit of space at the bottom for the seating. Now I'm going to go ahead and make points on the foam for my tufting. After that, I'm going to make holes on those points. I covered this with batting. Before then covering it with vinyl. I got white vinyl, and I chose this particular fabric because I intend to give this chair out when I'm done to a friend. So it has to be user-friendly. So all I'm doing now is locating where the points are and using a heavy-duty staple gun to staple it down. I worked on the top to see if the design was okay before I then continued at the bottom. If you're new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Now don't forget to click on the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. Now I'm going to draw a pattern for the arms on a canvas panel. Now that I have the size that I want, I'm going to first start by covering the sides with wood. The wood is flexible and it made a curve, which is perfect for my design. I need the arms puffed up, so I added a couple of layers of 2 inches foam. I'm done with this part. Now it's time to add the pattern that I made. I reduced the size and covered it with the fabric and attached it to the chair. I'll be using wood to cover the bottom part of the chair. I have a bit of opening here, but that'll be covered much later. It was hard changing the legs, so all I did was just to spray paint them silver, and they look pretty okay. I thought what I have here in the front was too low, so I looked at the couch in my living room and it's the same thing. So I continued. Now I'm going to be attaching fabric to the wood that's at the back before then putting in the foam. This way the foam is going to stay in place and is going to take the shape that I want. Now that I have this here, all I'm going to do is take the excess foam down and attach it to the wood. I'm going to cover this up with batting and with vinyl. I'll be using decorative onlays for the top. This middle part here is going to be covered with this wooden onlay that I got that was kind of long, but I cut off both sides and spray painted it silver. I got it from Lowe's. I'm attaching this with screws. These are other onlays that I got from Lowe's as well. Spray painted them silver, and I'm going to be attaching them to the curves by the sides. I'm definitely going to be adding more to the top of this chair, but before that, I'm going to be adding this PVC trim to it, and I'll leave a link for this down in the description box below. I spray painted it silver and attached it to the top. I'm also going to use it to decorate the arms of the chair. I'll use a hot glue gun and a heavy duty glue just to make sure that what I put here stays in place. This is another trim that I'm going to be using that I spray painted silver, and I'm going to use it to cover up the space that I have by the side. I'm also going to use it at the bottom just so that this particular pattern does not look so lonely on its own at the side. I'm also going to be using tack nails on the trims. When I was done with that, I covered up the staple pins with crystal buttons. I made a design for this bottom part here with plastic that I covered with mirror reflective paper. This is what it looks like after I attached it. Now I'm going to be adding this cutout trim that I had that broke off from a different design, spray painted silver, and attach it there. I later added more onlays. This is another trim that I'm going to be adding to my design that's going to be at the arm of the chair with other little pieces to make a design with it. I added more embellishments at the top. Overall, I love the way the chair now looks compared to what it used to look like before. The pattern on the arms may look a little bit too much, but I was trying to go for a throne chair kind of feel that has a lot going on the arms. So that's why it looks that way. But I mean, if you want to replicate this particular design on a chair that you want to revamp, you can do it without all the embellishments on the arms. This is a two-seat sofa that was made out of an ugly bench. Now, nobody would ever see this now and believe that it came out of that. The bench was really ugly, guys, but I really love the way it looks now. I am so in love with this double-sitting sofa. Now, I do hope you all enjoyed this video and learned one or two things from it. Now, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share with your friends and families as well.